Hey folks, it's Dan from Organic Digital. We're going to get this broadcast started underway shortly, but I'll just let Facebook do its thing. So if you're watching this after the fact, then you might be better off just fast forwarding to the point where you can hear me talking or when I flick around on my face. We'll be getting underway shortly, folks. Won't be a sec. We're going to be talking about Facebook ads today and the Facebook campaign objectives. It won't be a sec. Alright. Let's get underway, shall we? Hello, hey, it's Dan from Organic Digital here. If you tune in and you're watching live, and if you can hear me, just make sure that you can hear me properly. So, tonight, just wanted to jump on board to do a Facebook Live on Facebook advertising, actually, and choosing your right campaign objective. And this screen that you saw when you started this broadcast is a screen that you actually land on when you first go to Facebook ads and say, I want to create a new campaign. And so you're presented with these different options. And we're going to go through those shortly. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview as to what effect it can have on choosing your actual choosing the right objective and how you go about choosing your objective. And the reason Facebook gives you those options is because, believe it or not, Facebook actually wants you to succeed. And I know that a lot of people say that they've wasted money on Facebook ads, but if you're successful on Facebook and you get results, then you're more likely to come back and spend more money with them. So it is in their best interest to provide the best results they can for you. And based on what your objective you set at the start of the campaign will basically determine the type of people that they find to complete those objectives. So because the amount of data that Facebook has on its users and what they do both on and off their site, they actually know which users are more likely to perform a certain behavior or a certain action on Facebook. So if you were to use, for instance, a website clicks and clicks to website, they'll find and they'll serve your ad to people that they know are more likely to click on a link based on when they're browsing through Facebook. They click on a lot of links and they browse a lot of articles and news stories, and they're more likely to do that. Just as they're likely to find more people that are likely to convert. And when I say they're likely to find more people, they try to find them in the audience or the ad group, or the ad set rather, that you set. So you need to at least give Facebook a bit of a guide, and then within that ad set, they'll find the people that are most likely to perform that action. So that's why choosing a right objective is important to you. And it's the screen that you hit, and I'll flip you around again. The screen that you hit has changed again. It'll probably change again shortly, but it's changed recently, where basically they've got these three broader topics. So they have awareness, consideration, and conversion. Okay, so I want to go through each of these different ones slightly differently. So in the awareness category, you have boost your post, promote your page, reach people near your business, and increase brand awareness. So awareness is purely that. So it's actually trying to get your ad in front of the people that Facebook deem most likely it is relevant to them. Now, I don't usually suggest boosting your posts, mainly because setting them up properly can allow you to do some more advanced features, and that doesn't allow you to do a great deal of testing. But boost your posts is an option in that, and that's the basic big blue button that you'll see, and you get notifications saying this Facebook post is performing 85 or 95% better than most of your posts. If you spend $20, you're likely to reach 4,000 more people. Like, you get these notifications, but they don't tell you who they should go to. And I recommend actually taking a step back and thinking about your Facebook advertising strategy first. But that's under the awareness banner. Another one is under the another objective is promoting your page, and you can use this tactic, obviously, to drive likes on your page. And yes, likes are less relevant than they once were, but the right likes are still relevant. So if you're promoting your page to the right people, and when they like your page, they're still going to see your post particularly straight after once they like your page. So Facebook rank all your posts on different factors, and one of them is time and most recency they've interacted with your page. So if they've liked your page recently, they're probably going to show your next post or your second or your next 2 or 3 posts to them to see whether they're actually relevant to that person that's just liked that page. If they don't interact, then that might be your last chance. So, but if you promote your page to the right people though, then they're most likely to engage with it, right? So the next one is then reach people near your business. And this is for people that have a bricks and mortar store, and it allows you to drop advertisements basically on a map using a pin, and you select a radius around there, and you just show the people that you've selected in your audience that are within that actual radius. And so great to drive local awareness and trying to drive foot traffic. Again, that option is still in the other objective, so you still can get an ad, and you can adjust its placement by doing exactly the same thing. So it's not driven towards conversions or driven towards getting them to actually do something other than just showing the advertiser to them so they know that, hey, there's this XYZ business in their local area. And the last is increased brand awareness, and that's just sending it to as many people as possible, basically, and just getting basic impressions. So then the next 2 umbrellas of advertising goals are consideration and conversion. So they're the 2 that probably, those 2 topics are probably the 2 that 99% of campaigns will look to do. And again, this is probably consideration. We'll go through each of these tactics again and these different objectives. And the first one, which is until recently was quite popular, is send people to your website. So this is still relevant though. So it's basically getting someone to click on an ad to go through to your website and to consume a piece of content or whatever that you're promoting, basically. So it's driving traffic. And this was a really popular one until they started improving their measurements for conversions and be able to, find out the right return on investment. So, but now you can use it, for instance, if depending on where people are in your overall advertising strategy. So say, for instance, that 9 times out of 10 people use increased conversions on your website, if you're an online-based business, obviously. So they'll use that as their overarching campaign, but to get people into their funnel and to start to build some trust and authority and awareness with them, then they might send a piece of content using the send people to your website objective, because all that will get people to do is to click through, and it might be to watch a video or to read a recent blog post or something like that. But they're not probably as likely to go and buy something from your website. So it will probably get shown to more people. You'll find your click-through rates higher, because it's not pushing a promotional offer and you're not trying to sell to someone. You're just trying to get someone to interact with your website. So it's a good early starting objective. The next one is get installs of your app, and that's a relatively basic one. Obviously, if you're an app developer, mobile app developer, and you want to encourage downloads, then that's the objective you would use. That's pretty self-explanatory. Raise attendance at your event. Again, if you're running a Facebook event and you want to promote that to people that you think would be relevant, then they have some good options there that you can, obviously you put in your audience group and you drive it to your people that you think would be interested in attending, etc. People can tick whether they're interested or they're going as well. Great for if you want to try and have that social proof of, X thousand people are interested in this event, and then Facebook will show that to people within their networks and local networks that they think, okay, well, if this person's interested in this event, then maybe this person that might be completely unrelated but lives in a local area and lives where this event is might be interested in this event as well. So we'll show this on their newsfeed. And then the next, which is collect leads from your website. Now this is a little bit different, and it's when it says collect leads, it doesn't necessarily mean going through and filling out a contact form. Collect leads is actually using lead advertisements, which are basically forms built within Facebook. So they hit the advertisement and pops up straight away with a form that you would fill in if you were to subscribe to a newsletter, or if you wanted a contact form on a website, etc. What it does though is it doesn't actually take the user away from Facebook, but it brings in their details from their profile. So you set up to say, I want their first name, email, phone number if it was relevant, for instance, and then it will bring in their profile information and auto-populate that, and that person can adjust that if they like, but if it's all correct, they just hit submit, and then the lead comes directly through to you. You can set it up by either doing it manually through Facebook, but I recommend using a third-party tool that automatically delivers the lead to yourself or to your email marketing provider, whatever it is that you need to follow up with that lead, or whatever action you need to get them to take next. Then the last umbrella, and again, I'll turn you around for a last time, is the conversion tactic. And so these are the 5 objectives that live under the conversion banner. And the conversion banner is probably the most common objective that you use, probably 9 times out of 10. We'd use it because at the end of the day you want to try and drive sales from your Facebook advertisements, and it allows you to track those much more effectively. So under the conversion banners you have the increased conversion on your website. And again, going back to at the start of this live stream where I spoke about the type of people, or Facebook showing the advertisements to the right people and the type of people that are likely to perform that action, they're likely to show your advertisement to people that are more likely to convert on your website. Now, that conversion could take on a number of different options. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be a sale and then physically buying something, but it could be filling out a registration form, or it could be filling out a contact form. It's a different tactic than using the lead advertisements that we mentioned before. So it doesn't necessarily have to have a monetary value, but with Facebook's tracking and in their analytics and using the conversion pixel now, it allows you to track a number of different events. And based on what that event is, Facebook will show it to the people that are most likely to perform it. So just because I say conversion doesn't mean I mean a dollar figure necessarily, because some people, a conversion to them is getting them on their email list, or getting them in the start of their sales funnel, or getting their contact details that they can pick up the phone and then give them a call, particularly if you're using selling a high ticket sale item or something like that, that it needs a little bit more of a sales pitch to be able to convert them. Then the next one is increase engagement in your app. So this is to your existing users as well. Again, great for mobile app advertisers. The next I'll start after is get people to claim your offer. Now, offers is an interesting one. Facebook have improved their offer capabilities for people to be able to claim them both in online stores and in physical stores as well. They connect to some e-commerce stores as well, so you can track the people that claim the offers. You can use things like unique offers as well. So Facebook offers used to be pretty clunky, and yes, people could claim them, but they might not necessarily use them. So if you've got a discount or a particular offer you think is relevant, then maybe get people to claim your offer is the option. Sure, I've just got the phone, so I'm just like trying to look over it and then the last one, second last one is promote your product catalog. Now this is another interesting one, probably for e-commerce providers, that allows you to basically take a product feed. So that's why I say mainly for e-commerce providers, although it can be adjusted to different businesses. We might go into that down the track. But it takes an automatic feed of products from a certain e-commerce store, and then they're tagged with different things, like the category. Obviously, it brings in all their name, the type, description, an image, color, etc. So if they've got all different SKU numbers, then it'll bring in all of those. And then say for instance it's a clothing store and they go and look at t-shirts, then what this basically is an automatic advertising campaign or automatic advertising objective that'll then say, based on if they've looked at t-shirts, then let's show them the rest of the range of t-shirts. It'll automatically bring in that product feed, and it'll show them different styles, different colors, based on the rules that you set. And so it is one of those kind of set and forget advertising objectives. It's one of the ones you need to do the least manual amount of work on, because it just automatically happens based on when people browse. And because they're warm leads, and because they've actually shown an interest in that product, and you can also show it to people at different stages along their shopping journey. So if they've just viewed a product, or if they've added it to cart, or if they've abandoned their checkout, for instance, then you can show different advertisements based on what actually activity or behavior they've shown as well. So it does take a little bit of work to get it up and running, but once it's done, it's done. And they are huge. They're the highest converting ads by a long shot. So if you have an e-commerce store, you might definitely want to look into doing those. And then the last one is get people to visit your shops. Okay, so this is, again, it might sound similar to the awareness objective of reaching people near your business. But this is a combination of that, but what Facebook have actually introduced recently is called offline conversions, which traditionally, obviously, when online businesses can much easier track users because all of their actions are done online. But with these offline conversions, what people can actually do is they can do an advertising campaign, and then at intervals of whenever they want to, what they can do is actually download a list of people that have purchased in store. So they need some sort of information from those users in store. It's a bit difficult if it's just Joe Blow goes up and hands over his money for a product that he just went and picked up off the rack. So it's got to have some sort of data in there. But what Facebook then does is grabs that file, and depending on the different identifiers, there's about 17 of them, on name, product that they purchased, email. Facebook looks at all of their database, and it won't tell you exactly who they are, but it knows who it's shown the advertisement to before. So every profile on Facebook has a profile ID. So it'll say, all right, we've shown this advertisement to this profile ID number, and then based on this data file, it recognizes that email and that's this profile ID. Well, those match, so then that is a conversion. So then it actually gets a much better return on investment, because some people will think, well, you know, I've spent this money on advertisements, but I didn't get that many conversions in store, and they sort of go on a feel or maybe just a basic sales report that says, well, we ran it from this date to this date and there was a 10% increase on sales, but it's such just a guess, and just like that's literally all it is, to try and see whether it's actually worked or not. You know, it doesn't account for someone that comes in a month down the track and purchases after that fact. So you can set conversion windows, etc., and all of these different things. So that's what it means by the getting people to visit your physical store. So Facebook are getting better at that. So they're your different Facebook ad objectives, and they're a little bit, they can depend based on, again, what you want to get from your Facebook strategy and what you want to get, what results you want to get as well. But one important thing to note is choosing it basically just drives the overall objective for all of the ad sets that you set underneath it. So all of the budget, all of the time and everything like that, you set at the ad set level. This is just literally I want this objective and this is the objective name. That's all you literally set. So you don't need to overthink it, but it needs to be relevant to what you want to achieve. Now, can you run two objectives at the one time on the one campaign? The answer is no. So if you wanted to test whether send people to website or increase conversions is working better, then you basically need to have the two different objectives running simultaneously, and have all of the same things to get a true indication of what objective works best for you. But if it's set up properly and you've got your audience set up properly, then all you've got to do is choose the right objective, and your ads should work. But it is a key decision because, yeah, it can sometimes make or break your objective if you choose a completely wrong objective. So that's Facebook advertising objectives. If you've got any questions, as always, hit me up. Hit the link to Organic Digital just above my head up here to our page and send us a message. Or flick me an email, dan@organicdigital.com.au. Have a fantastic day or evening wherever you are. Chat to you again soon throughout the week for another Facebook Live session. See ya. Bye.